Hello, and thank you for watching this virtual groundbreaking production for what will become the new Forsyth County Courthouse. I am Damon Sanders Pratt, Forsyth County Deputy Manager. As part of the local and national effort to minimize and ultimately eradicate the spread of COVID-19, Forsyth County has opted to conduct a largely virtual construction commencement celebration. Although speakers removed their masks for the sake of the listener, each presenter was recorded one at a time by a minimal crew, wearing masks and appropriately socially distanced for everyone's protection. We at Forsyth County Local Government, the facility end users, the project architect SLAM, and the construction management team, Samet and Balfour Beatty Construction, wanted to share the groundbreaking of this important facility in our community. By doing it in this way, we believe we're recognizing the importance of the undertaking and remaining mindful of the situation in which we find ourselves. Thank you again.
Hi, I'm John Drinkard, an architect and principal with CJMW Architecture and Interior Design. Located here in Winston-Salem, we are the lead architect and interior designer for the new Forsyth County Courthouse and Administration Building. A new courthouse has been a dream in the eye of Forsyth County for many years, and I'm very proud to be part of this historic groundbreaking ceremony. It is truly a historic moment in time. I would like to take a minute to tell you about the design team. The design team was a collaboration of many groups that included not only architects, engineers, interior designers, and landscape architects, but equally important was the role that the stakeholders played in why we can stand here today. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners, for without their foresight and support, this project could not have been possible. They recognized the need for a larger courthouse that was more secure, functionally efficient, technologically advanced, and accessible, in order to better serve the needs of Forsyth County for many years to come. Secondly, I wish to express my appreciation to Forsyth County administration and staff. Under the leadership of Dudley Watts, Damon Sanders Pratt, and James Anderson, they oversaw the design process and worked tirelessly with us to achieve the design goals and stay in budget. And finally, I would like to recognize the multiple courthouse user groups and judges who worked enthusiastically with us to develop a functional yet exciting design that we are all proud of. Together we formed a cohesive design group that overcame many challenges and designed a new courthouse that Forsyth County can truly be proud of, and that is uniquely Winston-Salem. I would now like to introduce to you my colleague, Mr. Doug Kleppen. Doug Kleppen is a courthouse design specialist with Heery Design, the SLAM Collaborative, and it was lead designer on this project. Thank you, Doug.
Good morning, my name is Doug Kleppen. I'm an architect and a principal with Heery Design, now part of the SLAM Collaborative. And on behalf of our design team here, we want to congratulate Forsyth County and really appreciate the opportunity to participate in this celebration. This is an exciting day and one that's been long in the making, and we're excited to be part of it today. You know, in many ways, the Forsyth County Courthouse was really a highlight of our 2020, because it was almost a year ago when the news of the pandemic hit and affected all our lives. And for us, we had many projects that went on hold or were postponed as a result of the uncertainty that the pandemic created. But in their wisdom, the leadership at Forsyth County, they directed us to proceed. And so our entire design team was able to work on the construction documents, get those developed, and in collaboration with our design partners at Samet and Balfour Beatty, we've managed to get to this point where the project has been bid and awarded under budget. We've got our building permits lined up and we're ready to start construction. So really congratulations again to the county and an appreciation for them moving forward to let this project really get to this point. So on behalf of the design team, and that includes my colleagues here at SLAM, it also includes our design partners with Orion Atkins and CJMW. Let me give you a little bit of a background, maybe a little preview of what this courthouse is going to be. Let's start with the numbers. This building is going to be about 250,000 square feet. That's 50% larger than the existing Justice Center. It'll include 18 really judicial spaces, courtrooms and hearing rooms. That's up from the 14 that are currently in the existing building. And I should tell you that all of these rooms will be right-sized, meaning they're properly sized for the function that they're supposed to accommodate, and we could accommodate staff and the public as needed. I think another thing that this building will do is be very secure. We are going to really get what we consider a best practice and get separate circulations. So the public, the staff, and in custody, they really all have independent means to enter, move up and down in the building and appear in a courtroom. And really in the courtroom's the only time they would really actually encounter one another. That's baseline security for the project, but in addition we've added security checkpoints, we've got card access, there is video monitoring, in addition to other measures that keep everybody safe within their use of this building. I think the other thing that we're going to accomplish here that's significant is this idea of accessibility. It's fully accessible. So everything from the curb to a counter, public accommodation is fully accessible. So whether you're an attorney, whether you're just a spectator in a gallery or family member, or whether or not you are participating as a jurist, everything that you need to do to engage in the building, you'll be able to do. It's fully accessible. I think the last thing that I think is going to be a change for us is that this building will have the infrastructure for full state-of-the-art technology. So whether that's in the sound reinforcement system, the wayfinding, the video presentation, remote testimony, all of that infrastructure is in place. It'll really change the way I believe we can adjudicate cases efficiently and develop really a new model for how we're going to conduct here in Forsyth County. Let's take a look at the building and start with the site. The site that was selected is really advantageous for a number of reasons. First of all, it sits in a perfect place to expand the existing county government campus. So it's adjacent to the administration building and just directly across from available parking as well as from the jail. I think the other thing that's really advantageous is the views and view corridors that really this site it takes advantage of. There's kind of a gap in the city development and the grid so that this parcel, as it faced Chestnut Street, it can be seen from blocks away as you move up even past Liberty. On the other side, it sits out on the edge, and really so from the Innovation Corridor from Research Parkway, there's a wonderful vistas into this building. So it'll be highly visible, which is appropriate for a courthouse, and really nested in as part of the city grid. I mentioned the connectivity, and that is really maybe the best aspect of this location, because not only does this thing become a campus, we are literally tied to these existing structures. So there is a bridge connection to the administration building, and as a result of that, we're able to take advantage of existing maintenance, the loading docks, and long-term storage capability that already reside within the existing county administration building. We're also able to have a direct tunnel connection to the jail, and that's really instrumental in ensuring security. So now, instead of the current practice where we're putting folks on vans and having to drive through city streets and manage that a number of times a day, here we have a secure link to the jail, which allows them to move in custody participants really much more freely, and it's in a very secure manner. So it's much more efficient, really just better for everyone. Another advantage of this campus strategy is really the long-term flexibility that Forsyth County has. So with the Justice Center tied to the County Administration Building, we were able to, in the course of time, really blur the lines between what's a courthouse and where's the county government. And it could be that we are able to move certain departments and free up space that are tied to our in-custody circulation and expand the courtrooms. I think we already have a plan to where the initial number of courts can expand by easily 4 courts and maybe even more over time. And that flexibility is really all embedded in this idea of the connectivity and the campus strategy that this site and this complex of buildings affords the county. You know, another successful feature of this project, I think, is the way we've deployed the courtrooms within this facility. Really on the first 3 floors, all of our judicial spaces, and they're arrayed almost like a double-loaded corridor, or a shopping mall, if you will, where I think the wayfinding and the ease of access, we've employed paired escalators and stairs for the public. So there's really an open, daylit public space that leads you to these courtrooms. And within that space, we also accommodated plenty of waiting areas for folks as they're waiting for their turn within the courts themselves. We don't rely on elevators, or there's not this disorientation of having to get in an elevator and get off and figure out where you go. You always kind of see ahead of you how the courts are laid out, and you're really drawn right into it. It's a very logical, easy wayfinding system, but it also makes it more secure because we have visual control and can see everything that happens within that space. It's really important, and I think that it goes to this idea of transparency. From within, I think you can see where you need to go, and we're borrowing daylight from that open space into each of the courts as well. But also from the outside, those portions of the building, they are where we have the highest really concentration of glazing and curtain wall. So from the outside, you can see really where your destination is. These become the referential spaces within the court, and that's how people are going to understand and know how to navigate. I think it's going to be a great asset to the county. As we began to think about the exterior expression of this building, I think we wanted it to be uniquely Winston-Salem. So it needed to be a good neighbor and fit within that context. And the obvious adjacency is that of the existing county administration building. But also, we wanted to be really understanding of the architectural heritage and the history of that portion of the downtown, and really a nod to the industrial heritage and that architecture that was so pervasive. So our building is really an extension of that. The scale, these long horizontal masses that are articulated in precast concrete, complementary brick, with punched openings very similar to what you would have seen in those original industrial kind of warehouse architectural expressions. Even the bridge that connects the administration building to the courthouse is really an homage to the bridges that used to span the city streets, and in some cases still do, that are part of what the downtown of Winston-Salem was, and just a unique part of its architectural history. And that expression, it becomes really the foundation for our development of the interior finishes for the project. So as you move into the lobby, we now have durable finishes with terrazzo. We're using a porcelain tile pattern evocative of the precast on the exterior of the building. And we've now warmed it up with feature lighting, with wood. Some of the furniture and fixtures also kind of create that warmth. But this is kind of a timeless, neutral palette that we believe will serve the county well into the future. Those public spaces then translate into the court. We are borrowing daylight over the transoms around these entranceways and then reinforcing those materials within the court itself. Again, a generous amount of wood, a strong kind of focal wall that reinforces that the symmetry and balance, the order of the court and the proceedings themselves. Again, picking up on that blend of the porcelain tile and flanked by the wood slat wall, and that I think really sets up for a really strong centered bench courtroom, again with lots of natural light. We've introduced daylight in all the public zones. So whether it's in the public waiting area, jury assembly spaces, or even in the courtrooms, that daylighting and expansive glazing is associated with the jury boxes in each of the jury trial courts. That's an important aspect for us in many ways. It's part of this issue of transparency, but the natural light saves on energy, but it's also very calming for folks within the court environment to have some access to light. And we're borrowing light in every courtroom and direct light in almost half of them. So we think they're going to be really dynamic, but solemn and serious places of adjudication.
Hey, where is everybody? I came out here for a groundbreaking. No, seriously, I just want to say thank you for allowing Samet Balfour Beatty team to be a part of this iconic project. We look forward to building the Forsyth County Courthouse and being a partner and having a landmark in Winston that we'll all be proud of for decades and generations to appreciate. I look forward to a ribbon cutting at the end where we can all be in person. Thank you.